Hello everyone. In this video, I will dedicate this video for those who love roses and the famous song of A Million Roses. The Legend of A Million Roses. A Million Roses, the music for this song, which became one of the most popular Soviet songs in the 1980s, was composed by a Soviet Latvian composer, Raymond Pauls, 1936. The melody itself appeared already in the 1970s with the words of the poet Leon Briedis. At the time, the song was called Dāvāja Māriņa, mean a gift to Marina. The story was told about the love of the Georgian primitivist painter Niko Pirosmani, 1862 to 1909, to the French singer and a dancer Margarita de Sevres. During his life, the painter often had been living in poverty, sometimes painting in exchange for food. After his death, though, he became really famous, most probably also due to a song of A Million Roses. Niko Pirosmani lived in Tiflis when, in March 1909, a beautiful French singer, Margarita de Sevres, had performance there. The painter was amazed with her beauty and talent and immediately fell in love with her. Margarita, however, had no eye for the desperate painter, even if he felt crying on the ground for kissing the stone she had touched with her feet. After her, she was an artist belonging to the public, which made it, in her point of view, impossible to belong to one single person. It was the period when Pirosmani painted his most famous work, Actress Margarita. A little bit about Niko Pirosmani. As none of his attempts to win Margarita's hand had succeeded, on his birthday, he sold all of his possessions and bought all of the available flowers, mostly roses, not only in the city but in the entire environment. The huge carts filled with roses were driven to the hotel where Margarita stayed. The flowers were unloaded and set down at the windows, the doorsteps, and the hotel. And from the hotel on, they filled the street till with complete environment turned into the big carpet of roses. The sight was so amazing, so beautiful, that not one single person dared to step on this beautiful flower bed. The strong stress awakened from the noise also felt deeply impressed with the colorful carpet when she saw Niko Pirosmani approaching her house while walking through the flowers. She ran towards the poet in her most beautiful dress, embraced him and kissed him on the lips for the first and also the last time. A little later, she left Georgia with a rich admirer. The poem written by Andrei Vosnesky and the tune of novels on that love story which he had read in novel. The famous songstress Alia Pugacheva, who was offered to sing that newly created song, initially reacted negatively as she disliked the text, which she regarded as not suitable for her. She wanted to perform the song that had been created specifically for her and insisted on making corrections to the lyric. The poet, though, refused to change one single word, and eventually it was the original text that she finally recorded her song with. She disliked the song so much, though, that she switched the radio being broadcast. However, as had happened before, this song became so famous that Pugacheva had to bring it to each performance. A Million Roses became one of her visiting cards. In 1983, Pugacheva became a laureate at annual TV festival, the Song of the Year of a Very Song. 1982, the recording of New Year program Attraction took place in the circus of Svetnoy Boulevard. Alla Pugacheva performed there, not only as a strong stress, but also as the co-host, together with illusionist Iko Kio. On the occasion, the songstress also presented her new song A Million Roses, which had been recorded only one day before. According to the script, she had to perform the song sitting on the swing with the trapeze of the circus was used on that occasion. Singing A Million Roses, Pugacheva took a seat on the trapeze, which, after a first chorus, suddenly rose several strats. The song strats were not being fastened, but Alla Pugacheva remained perfectly calm, even being raised to the 20-meter height. 19 became super popular. At the end of the 1983, it circulated with over 6 million copies, which make one of the best songs of Pugacheva's, the Japanese one, as in Japan the compilation album was being prepared for Alla Pugacheva's hits. A Million Roses was chosen as a single that would precede the release of the album. The song was several times broadcast on Japanese radio and immediately became very popular. After the young lady Nina Jodo translated the lyrics into Japanese, her translation became widely known as soon as the Japanese sang A Million Roses as it were their own. In the Japanese city Fukuyama, the song was regarded to be a motif of the City of Roses. The incoming trends are met with motif. The Japanese are not the only, though, to think that Million Roses. In 1984, it was claimed that Iranian singer Gugush sang this song already in 1969, and this claim could not be proven, though. That is the legend of the Million Roses, and it describes such a beautiful, hopeless love story between the the painter and the singer Margarita. If you haven't heard this song, you can tune in and listen to the song. It's beautiful, and right now it translates into many languages throughout the globe. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you in the next video.
No Он актрису любил, ту, что любила цветы. Он тогда продал свой дом, продал картины и кровь, и на все деньги купил целое море цветов. Миллионов роз. Из окна видишь ты. Кто влюблен и всерьез. Свою жизнь для тебя превратил в цветы. Из окна видишь ты. Кто влюблен и всерьез. Свою жизнь для тебя превратил в цветы. Một chuyện tình yêu anh họa sĩ, người vào tranh vẽ những vui buồn. Lòng anh thầm yêu nàng ca sĩ, cô gái rất yêu bông hoa hồng, tặng cả đại dương hoa hồng thắm cho người ca sĩ anh yêu thầm. Và ngôi nhà xinh anh đã bán cùng dòng màu nóng trái tim mình. Dưới ánh nắng sân long lanh chiều cành hồng về sắc hồng. Mỗi sao xăm bên sông thưa em bên hoa cười trong nắng. Ai đang yêu say mê tình trong sáng. Sẽ mãi mãi như hoa kia trao cho em chính cuộc đời. Dưới ánh nắng sương long lanh chiều cành hồng về sắc hồng. Mỗi sao xăm bên sông thưa em bên hoa cười trong nắng. Ai đang yêu say mê tình trong sáng. Sẽ mãi mãi như hoa kia trao cho em chính cuộc đời. Встреча была коротка.